As I told you earlier, General Studies Paper 3 comprises the following sections: agriculture, economy, science, technology and environment, internal security, disaster management. So the paper on 250 marks, if I see the breakup of questions in the previous years, agriculture is one unit which gets 50 to 60 marks every year. The basic reason is the prospective civil servant must be aware of the problems confronting the farming sector. So, in keeping in that in mind, the syllabus is tailor-made for the requirements the civil servant should have. Okay, see the question for discussion. Well-tailored farm measures must balance the national requirement with farmers' aspirations. Read the question once again. Well-tailored farm measures must balance the national requirement with farmers' aspirations. So the question is directed at farm measures. What measures should be taken to improve the performance of the farming sector? At the same time, it should balance the national requirement. The question says, outline the measures to stem falling growth. So I will split up my answer in the following manner. First, I take an introduction. Then I discuss what steps are required to stem the falling growth in agriculture. I suggest the measures. Then I conclude my answer proposing two solutions. So in the introductory part, I would like to mention that agriculture is a crucial segment for inclusive development. You might have seen the present government has formulated a number of plans for the welfare of farmers. In fact, we have a committee headed by an IAS officer, Ashok Dalwai, which speaks of doubling the income of the farmers. So the farming sector is a crucial sector for development, and the government is very well aware in fostering the necessary conditions for its growth. Of late, certain developments have occurred which can show the decline in the agricultural production, agricultural growth. So what measures should be taken? See, the first thing will be disparity in agricultural expenditure to be connected. In this, what I would like to suggest is agriculture expenditure disparity in the sense that certain sectors like livestock and fisheries, very low expenditure is incurred on these sectors, and livestock and fisheries, they improve the resources of the people in the villages, in the rural areas. So if this disparity is to be corrected, what I would suggest is increase the outlay for the livestock and fisheries sector part of agriculture. The second thing which I would like to suggest is increase the R&D expenditure on agriculture. See, currently the expenditure on research and development for agriculture is 0.4%. So we suggest the government should increase it to 1%. So why this increase is required is because if research and development takes place, this will ameliorate the poverty, it will improve the livelihood of the farmer. So the second suggestion would be to increase the R&D expenditure on agriculture. The third one will be see, now we are affected by climate induced disasters. A year of drought is followed by a year of flood. So take the initiative of the ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, which speaks of climate smart villages. So climate smart villages are propagated by the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, keeping in mind the frequent climate disasters, that is from droughts to extreme floods. Another suggestion which I would like to give is Farmer producer organizations. Now there are multiple farmer producer organizations. So what we suggest is all this can be brought under a single authority. So you say FPO, Development and Regulating Authority. Then what will happen if all the organizations, the FPO organizations, are brought under a single authority? There is an end-to-end connectivity to farmers, traders, agencies, and exporters. So once this is done, this will check fluctuating prices. So this is another important suggestion which we are offering. That is, bring all the FPOs under a single umbrella. Then the next thing would be to promote digital literacy of farmers. So digital literacy of farmers is very much required, as the government has introduced a large number of e-innovations in the sphere of agriculture. Especially the most outstanding is the e-NAM. So digital literacy is another important factor which will improve the condition of the farmers. The next thing I would like to suggest is private sector involvement in agriculture. Now, we should think of sustainable agriculture. So when I speak of private sector involvement in agriculture, you promote the concept of agroforestry, conservation programs, and the CSR in agriculture. So this will promote further investment in the agricultural sector. The next important suggestion I would like to give is collation of farm data. By this I mean the data relating to farmers. It is scattered in different places. So now the government has taken up the task of digitization of land records. So the digitization of land records will also include farm data. So this data will be available on various platforms. Why this data should be available is for identification of beneficiaries, and apart from that, for scientists and other stakeholders. So collation of farm data is another important suggestion. Ease of farming index. This is another thing which we propose. Now, this ease of farming index will assess the progress made by the center and the states on key indicators of farming. So once we have the ease of farming index, there will be competition among states. It will promote competitive federalism, cooperative federalism, and it will lead to improvement in the farming sector. Two welfare commissions can be proposed to improve the condition of the farmers. The first is, we propose a National Agriculture Development Council. What is this National Agriculture Development Council? This is a council just like on the lines of the GST, headed by the Prime Minister. So this National Agricultural Development Council will debate on key reforms and policies relating to agriculture. Since it is under the PM, it will have a lot of authority, and a lot of reforms can be spearheaded by just establishing the National Agricultural Development Council. The second welfare commission which we can propose is a Farmers Welfare Commission. What is this Farmers Welfare Commission? It could be set up in the center and in all the states. Again, this Farmers Welfare Commission will examine all related issues, and it will redefine the existing issues and take care of the personal, what I would like to suggest is, it will take care of issues like farmer suicides, say agricultural distress. All this can be tackled by the Farmer Welfare Commissions. To conclude the answer, I would like to propose two solutions. First, you constitute an Indian Agricultural Service on the lines of the other All India services. See, this Indian Agricultural Service can be created on the lines of the agricultural services of the US Department of Agriculture. In the US Department of Agriculture, they have an agricultural service. So why not we also have an Indian Agricultural Service? So what will this service do? It will deal with the issue of floods and droughts and other farmer related issues. Then the next important solution I would like to give is well-tailored farm measures. These well-tailored farm measures will balance the national requirement with the farmers' aspirations. So, for the question on agriculture GS3 on the what suggestions should be taken for stemming the fall in agriculture, we discussed several suggestions. We discussed increasing of R&D on agriculture, correcting the disparity in agriculture by giving importance to livestock and fisheries, then promote climate smart villages, promote FPOs under a single authority, promote digital literacy of farmers. Along with that, we also spoke of private sector involvement in agriculture, collation of farm data, why it is required, so that all data is available on one platform, not only for the policymakers but also for the scientists. The one step in this, you can also mention the computerization of land records, the digitization of land records. So that should also include this farm data. Ease of farming index, an important parameter indicator to assess the performance of the center and states, thereby promoting cooperative federalism. Then two welfare commissions which we proposed, the National Agriculture Development Council on the lines of the GST Council. Why this is required? Because it will be under the PM and it will be the center of policy formulation, and since it is under the PM, things will move very fast. Then a Farmers Welfare Commission to deal with farmer welfare related issues of the farmers. Then I wound up the discussion by speaking of two solutions. First is an Indian agricultural service on the lines of the service prevailing in the Department of Agriculture, the US. Why it is required? Then I also spoke of well-tailored farm measures. So this discussion is sufficient for writing a 200-word note on this particular question on agriculture. And as I told you earlier, agriculture is carrying 50 to 60 marks in the General Studies paper 3.